Hi guys, it's Rod, and in today's video it's going to be part 2 of a 2-part series that I've created about custom conversions. Now in this video I'm going to take you through how you can use custom conversions in your Facebook ad web events and what you need to do to configure that, and then how you can use those new conversion events to further optimize your ad sets. Now in part 1 I showed how to create the custom conversions in the first place. So if you want to learn how to do that, you've got to go back to the first video, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. Let's get into it. Now before I get started, as usual, if you enjoy this content, you'll find it useful, please go ahead and hit the like button and click subscribe. You don't need to worry about hitting the bell for the notifications because that's annoying. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my ads manager and just briefly show you what you need to do to be able to use the new custom conversions that you should have created from the last video in your web event configuration. I'm going to talk you through that, and then I'm going to show you some real client ad account examples of how these custom conversions and the reconfigured web events have been used to optimize ad sets for better performance. So to do that, just go to your events manager, and then what you'll need to do is go to your aggregated event measurement, and you'll go to configure web events. All right, so I'm going to show you on my ad account. Now this is something to note. If you change event configurations, impacted ads and ad sets will be paused for 72 hours to allow changes to take effect. So this is a big deal. If you are going to take advantage of recreating your web events to utilize custom conversions, then be aware that you have to at some point alter your web events to make this happen. Now, changing your web events is something that you should have already done before iOS 14 came along. Now, if you haven't done it or you haven't set your web events up, then you need to do it. But bear in mind, if you are spending a lot of money on Facebook ads, you're probably going to be without any ads for about 72 hours. At least that's what I've found with client accounts. 72 hours is real. So that's how long Facebook will pause your ads for when you reconfigure and save your web events. Now, it doesn't do it yet. So when you go edit, it doesn't automatically pause the ad sets. But after you click submit, and that's when it's going to happen. So basically what you need to do is, now I've only got one event configured in my ad account because it's not an e-commerce account, but I'm going to show you how this looks in a client account. You just need to click on add event, and then you would choose the pixel, which would be your local pixel usually. And here is where you can choose the custom conversions that you've created previously. So I'll show you how that looks in a client ad account. So here's an example from a client account where you can see the highest priority event is the standard purchase event from the Facebook pixel. But then we've got all these other custom conversions that have been configured as the other priority events. Now, the reason that I've done that is because they're the only events that I'm interested in as far as optimizing ad sets for. If you're in the e-commerce game, historically, if you've been watching my videos, you would have only be optimizing your ads for purchase anyway. Add to cart, view content, all of those events, you're not going to optimize your ads for any of those, and I don't suggest that you do. So that's basically how it will look. And then after you click on the save button, which will be down here, then Facebook will then, I don't know why it needs to take 72 hours, but it does, and they'll pause all your ads for 72 hours. Anything that's using any of the events that you had configured before, those ads will get paused, and you won't be able to restart them again for another 72 hours. So now that you've got your shiny new web events configured, how can you use them? Well, in the previous video, I showed you how you can use your custom conversions to further enhance the results that you see in the Facebook Ads Manager. And now I'm going to show you how you can reconfigure your ad sets, or just modify your ad sets so that they use these new web events that you've created with your custom conversions. So I'm going to take you over to an ad account to show you how that's done. Okay, so here I am inside the ads manager, and it's as simple as this. So when you set up the ad and you're down at the ad set level, normally if you're in e-commerce, your conversion event that you're optimizing the ad for would be the purchase event. So if you just click the cross, now that you've reconfigured your web events, you should be able to choose your other web events that you've created instead as the thing to optimize for. So you can see I've got all these custom conversions set up here. So let's say I'm going to choose that one there. And that's really it. And then you configure the rest of your ad set as you normally would in your ads, and Facebook will try to optimize for that particular conversion event that you've got configured. And just a couple of caveats. You might remember from last week where I said, if you're going to use custom conversions in your web events and you want to use that custom conversion event to optimize your ad set, you really want to make sure that you've got at least 500 of that particular event already registered against the pixel. What I've found is that if we configure ad sets to use custom conversion events that have got fewer than that, then the results tend not to be as good as just going for the straight out optimizing for purchase. So I'm inside a client account here, and you can see I've got all these custom conversion events set up, and this one here is a good example. We're clocking up almost 1,000 events per month for a purchase of that particular product. So that is certainly a good candidate to turn that custom conversion into a web event, and then you can then optimize your ad set for that particular event. So that's all I've got for this video. It's a fairly short one. Just to recap last week's video, what are custom conversions, how to create them, how you can use them to show more detailed results in your ads manager. This week was about how to use those custom conversions to reconfigure your web events, and then use those new events to optimize your ad sets. So as usual, if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button, click subscribe. So just a bit of housekeeping. We're currently accepting strategy sessions for people who are interested in talking to us about their Facebook ads. So if you're spending more than $150 a day on your Facebook ads already, or you're planning to, then there'll be a link in the description below where you can book a time in for a quick chat. You know, it's not meant to be an exhaustive, this is what you need to do. It's really just having a look at what you're currently doing, what your goals are, and whether we think we can help. So if that's something that you're interested in, just go ahead and click the link that'll be in the description below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.